going and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. EA Sports, we in the game. EA. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. On 1st and 10, Watson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's second down. And now the Chiefs' offensive starters.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017, and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And hauled in here by Richard Rodgers. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Watson now on second down. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
From the gun on third, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now back to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And got his man complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the first play will be a field goal try. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They'll begin the drive with a drive. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now it's Watson, and it's a fumble. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So the defense... They're opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the stack.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only give up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
To throw is Watson. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
And get all together there. In breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They run with Ajayi. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
To throw on second is Watson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play.
And this is caught by Watkins for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the 2nd quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And this one will be brought back to the 22. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Maybe a free play for Watson. Underneath for Miller.
Offside defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontez Perfect. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Walton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. And he's taken down. A cheap sack. Khalil Mack. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Green 39. Green 39.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Going deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He drops it off for Bernard. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about clean.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Sliding it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap able to get him for a loss of about 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? But also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on third down, Watson. This is caught. Watkins. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it here with Bernard. And some room to maneuver. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Open man is Ross, complete. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe it.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs take advantage of the turnover and put up 6.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control.
In the back.
And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the 1st down. Now Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Going deep downfield for Ross. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover. His guys will get the football back. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
This is Ajayi, and he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Watson on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. On third down, Osweiler escaping the pressure right. They shake some, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here. They're already slim. Hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
No, check, Patriot.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let one fly for Tate, and it's in. Complete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
McCarron, and he's going to go down again. Justin Houston in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a road win in the National Football League.